Well, who would have thought I'd find a new career at my age? Not me. It were my doctor who suggested it, Dr. Oliver. He were concerned about me being on me nerve tablets since my Jimmy died. Truth be told, I took that many tablets, it were a wonder I didn't rattle. Anyway, like Dr. Oliver advised, Jean, you should take in language students. University are crying out for host families, and it'd keep you company, keep you occupied, as indeed it does. Busy as a bee. Mr. Yamamoto calls me his second mother. It wasn't good for me clattering around in me big old house on me own. It's a lovely home, though, nice big semi, in walking distance of the uni, which is part of the attraction. It cost an arm and a leg when we were first married, but, like my Jimmy said, it's an investment and it'll still be here when the kids have grown and flown. He weren't wrong. And between my 3 jobs and his intermittent employment, we managed to pay the mortgage, somehow. Oh, I've given a home to many a student since I started. 4 bedrooms, you see. But Mr. Yamamoto is my regular, has his own ensuite. Well, not everyone likes to share, do they? He's in his 3rd year now. Couldn't bear to leave, he says, and I'm glad of it. It were a lovely service. Jimmy's funeral, the vicar gave a wonderful speech. Would have brought tears to my eyes if I hadn't done most of me crying whilst he was still alive. I threatened to stab him with a bread knife once. Early days those were. We were all round at my mother's one Sunday, and he were throwing his weight about. He'd been in pub at lunchtime. I'm not making excuses for him, just setting the scene. He started playing the big man, bullying me. If I remember correctly, I were 8 months pregnant with our Ricky at the time. Unfortunately for Jimmy, I had a bread knife in my hand, and I went into fight or flight mode. I decided to fight. Well, I had Ricky to consider above all, and I told him, if you don't sit down and shut up, I'll stab you. And what did he do? He sat down and shut up. He did right. I would have stabbed him. Oh, make no mistake. I were a real firebrand in those days. I suppose you're wondering, Jean, why didn't you just leave him? To be honest, he were never around long enough to make it seem worthwhile. Always off with his fancy women. Oh, Mr. Yamamoto appreciates me, though. He likes to spend time at home. He's a bit of an homebody like me, to be honest. Oh, I've told him, you're a young man. You should be out having adventures. But he likes to be at home, he tells me, and I'm glad of the company, really. We watch all the soaps together of an evening. We always have subtitles on, and it's good for him to train his ear to regional accents. On top of that, he's always picking up useful phrases to help with his fluency, like, what did he say to me other day? Oh, it's enough to make your pig sick. And I instantly thought, Emmerdale. I do manage to get Mr. Yamamoto out of the house a couple of Saturdays a month, though, when I can drag him away from his studies. You need a break, I tell him. Live a little. He doesn't put up much of a fight. We come here to the social club. He doesn't drink much, thankfully. 3 halves a lager is about his limit, and even then his face is as red as a beetroot. By the second half a lager you can't get him off the karaoke though. He's surprisingly talented. Loves 80s pop. Oh, and he's mad about musicals. Knows all the words. He does. No need for teleprompter. You should hear him sing Love Changes Everything. Oh, it sends shivers up my spine. Perfect diction he has. If you close your eyes, it's like having Michael Ball in the room. I've told him, you could be Michael Ball. You could be the Japanese Michael Ball. And of course, it won't go home before I've sung my version of Anika's Japanese Boy. Before his time, but he loves that one. Yeah, I help my Mr. Yamamoto in lots of ways, actually. If he wants to know anything about computers, I tell him, you should pick my brains. Oh yeah, I'm a bit of a whiz with the old computer. I were having problems printing out photographs my Kim sent me from Australia. Problems with the software, and I fixed it all by myself. Deinstalled it, reinstalled it. Works perfectly now. Did it all myself. Came out lovely, the photos. Lovely colours. All by myself. Oh, the internet, eh? What did we ever do without it? It's a lifeline, that's what it is. What we are, Ricky and our Kim both living abroad. Oh, I miss them both very much. Very, very much. I never really got to appreciate me grandkids, or be much of a grandma. Oh, but Mr. Yamamoto is like family. Sometimes we Skype with his mum and dad in Japan. Oh, they're ever so grateful. And I've told them, your son is safe with me. I look after him like me own. Bread knife at the ready.